Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another video where I help you heal from toxic love. My name is Denise Dominguez, and I help women coming out of toxic partnerships move past their frustration, doubt, and fear to confidently move into new and healthy relationships. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the one thing that you must know before you hire a divorce attorney, or the one thing you must know before you go back to court with your ex. And obviously, I applied this into my own life and my client's life, and it changes everything for you. So let's dive into this one thing that you must do before you hire your divorce attorney. So there's so many women that come to me that ask me for advice on a good divorce attorney. And I have those recommendations here in the local area where I live in North Carolina, and I share that with them. But what I see that happens, and what I know for a fact that happens, is when you are coming out of these toxic relationships and you immediately, which I totally get, I get that you want to be done with this chapter of your life. I get that you this has been going on and on and on for a very long time, and in your head, in your heart, you're ready to let this be over, close this chapter, be done. I get that 150%. I really do. But there's one thing that you must do before you hire a divorce attorney. So an attorney can only provide you with legal advice. They can only help you with legal documentations and answer legal questions and everything legal. That's what a divorce attorney does for you. Now, there's nothing on the emotional aspect that an attorney can do for you. Even if they want to, they can't. That's just not their department, and they can't. So when you come out of this abusive, toxic relationship and you immediately hire a divorce attorney and you have no emotional support, then you are left vulnerable going into the court system and going into what is about to be your divorce and all the legalities of that divorce. Your ex, especially if you are divorcing a high conflict person, the manipulation and the control is only going to heighten, okay? And the abuse is going to continue in the court system. Unfortunately, this is the absolute truth. I don't make this up. This is what I know to be true. This is what I've seen. So I'm going to go into a couple of stories for you to share with you the difference between hiring a divorce attorney first versus hiring, and I'm not just saying this, hire me, hire somebody who can support you emotionally and work through those emotions in a healthy way so that you are armored when it comes to being in court, okay? So a couple of stories of that. I have had women who have contacted me first. They thought about working with me and they said no because they wouldn't have the money to do both, meaning hire an attorney and work with me. So they chose to go the attorney route. And like I said, everything continues to get worse. The abuse, the disconnection from their family members, which is, the kids, the manipulation, the control, all of that continues. And on top of that, they, unfortunately, not every attorney is looking out for your best interest. And so the attorney fees get higher and higher and higher. The court fees, the attorney fees, because when you're not equipped to handle what's about to happen, you're being taken advantage of. Sometimes it is you're being taken advantage by being taken advantage by your own attorney, your ex's attorney, your ex, and the court system. You've got all that stacked up against you. And so I've seen divorces that there was really only one property that they needed to split. They had no children, like the children were grown up because they were in their 70s, and it turned into a $30,000 divorce. And it's still going on. I've also heard of other stories where the wife divorced the narcissistic ex. They do share a child together, and they continue to go back to the court every 2 years because he continues to drag her in every 2 years. And so that continues. So she's moved on with life. She's now remarried. She's in a great relationship. She has another child by her new husband. Everything is great. But this old energy keeps rising up. And every couple of years, it's back into the court system. So that's more money on the attorneys, more manipulation, more control. So basically, yeah, you've separated from him. You've divorced him physically. Not even really that either, but definitely emotionally, mentally, and financially, he's still abusing you. That's the truth. And I've also heard of stories where another woman who wanted to work with me and just, so her ex-husband was not only manipulating her, but the kids, their adult children, which now she can't see her adult children, nor can she see her grandchildren. And she chose to hire the attorney and go the attorney route. And also she was having health issues. So also, in addition to all of this, please know that being in these abusive relationships for so long and not giving yourself the emotional attention that you deserve can also lead to health issues, and even manifest into a dis-ease in the body. So she chose to go the attorney route, and the manipulation and control continued to where she's still not able to have a relationship with her adult children or with her grandchildren. So she's feeling more alone than ever before. And the attorney fees are still piling up. And this is what happens when you don't get the emotional support that you need before you go into a divorce. Okay? A divorce can be very traumatic. It is definitely a life-altering change, and it's a transition. It's a transformation that you're going through. You need all the emotional support possible, okay? So now I'm going to share with you 3 stories of women who did choose to work with me first. Again, this is not about me. I'm not saying hire me. I'm saying get the emotional support that you deserve and need before you go into the court system. Get with a counselor, a therapist, a coach, somebody, a professional, not just friends, because friends don't know how to handle this in the right way. Get with somebody who is a professional who can emotionally support you. This is so important. Okay, so 3 stories. So my first one is my client in Australia. She's no longer my client, but she was my client for a while. And she decided to hire me before she even told her husband that she wanted a divorce. So we were together through the whole transition, before even telling him, going through the process, the separation, moving out, and the actual finalization of the divorce. And here's how that went. Very, very smoothly. Very, very smoothly, because remember, everything is energy. Everything is energy. So when you're showing up energetically in woman energy, adult energy versus mother energy or child energy, your whole world changes. You've seen me share this chart. I'm going to share it again if I can find it. Here it is. You've seen me share this chart, woman energy. So here's the triangle. We want to be here. Here's mother energy. Here's daughter energy. Look what's under mother energy. Rescuer, warrior, wallflower, right? Chubby bubby, perfectionist. That is all under mother energy. Under child energy is narcissist, drama queen, scared child, rebellious teenager, addict, troublemaker. When you're dealing with a narcissistic person, you're dealing with child energy. When you show up in mother energy, dealing with the child energy, the more you show up in this mother energy, the more they show up in this child energy. So before you go into the court system where a lot of stuff is out of your control, you need to know how to handle your energy. Everything is energy, and people feed off of your energy. When you show up like this powerhouse of a woman or man in the court system, you are less likely to be manipulated and controlled because people feed off of each other's energy. Okay, so my client in Australia, like I said, she hired me first. We went through the whole transition before, during, and after. Everything went super smoothly. She got everything she asked for. She was divorcing a covert narcissist, okay? And now she's working on being a coach herself. How amazing is that? So she was able to create amazing bonds with us in the group. So not only with me, but the other women in the group, because you're surrounded by women who are going through the same thing as you. Okay. And that changes everything. The more emotional support that you have around you, the better off you're going to be. Okay. So that's the whole goal, is to feel loved and supported, loved and supported, loved and supported. So the second story is my client who had a bit of a altercation before she went to, she had an altercation, which was because she was having an affair and she was caught, and her narcissistic husband. Then what happened is that all the cards were in his hands now, because now he was able to say she was an unfit mother, blah, 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 blah. And what happened with the altercation was when it came down to confronting each other about this, she lost her shit, basically, and there was alcohol involved. And I think she slapped him, which led to an arrest, an assault charge, and spending the night in jail. This is not the only story that I've heard of. I've heard of other stories just like this. Unfortunately, when you're being manipulated so much by somebody, you don't have the emotional support, you lose your shit. I mean, that's just the truth. So that's what happened with her. They have 3 young children, and her children were taken away from her. She was only allowed to visit them with supervised visitation, so basically it turned into just this big mess. Big mess. She had to move out. She had to move in with her mother, at 40 years old. And so she hired me. We got together. We worked together. She was in the group. She was supported and loved by other women who did not judge her, did not criticize her. We held her. We held her. We held space for her, and we loved on her. And again, it made all the difference in the world. These 2 stories are actually testimonies on the back of my book. So going through her divorce, showing up in woman energy changed everything for her. She got everything she asked for. And so now all of that is over. So yay. Again, having the emotional support doesn't drag it out as long. When you literally are just a hot mess, rightfully so, but I'm saying when you are showing up as a hot mess, people, especially the toxic people, they will definitely take advantage of that. All right, so the third story is a client of mine who had an inheritance of money, a large amount of money in a out of country, in another country account, in her mother-in-law's name. Okay, so before she went into the divorce, she needed to figure out this financial part. Okay, and financial abuse comes in so many ways. Okay, I don't know the back end of the story to why her inheritance money from her parents ended up in her mother-in-law's name. I don't know the back end to that story, but I can guarantee you there's emotional abuse in there, right? There's manipulation there. So anyway, the first thing we needed to do was to safely transfer that money out of that account into an American account and into her name, okay? Without raising a red flag to the mother-in-law and her husband that she was about to tell that she needed a divorce or that she was going to ask for a divorce. We had to do this super safe, super strategic so that she came out ahead. And that's the whole point of this, right? Is you coming out ahead in this divorce. So that's what we did. We created a plan, a personalized strategic plan just for her, tailored just for her, in first getting the money out of the mother-in-law's name and out of that account in an overseas country and get it here in America and in her name. Numero uno. That was the first thing. And then the second thing was, after that was taken care of and everything was settled with that, then it was time to tell her then husband she wanted a divorce. And then have that go super smoothly, because what we needed to do was it came out of left field for him. Like, he wasn't expecting it, even though. So abusers don't realize, they don't realize they're abusers. They don't know that what they're doing is wrong. They don't know they're treating you. They do, but you know, they don't know. They do, but they don't. So asking for a divorce from him, for him, came out of left field. He wasn't expecting it, because during this process, we had to, or she had to, act like everything was okay, right? Because she needed to get that money out of that account and into her name. So end result was she manifested everything that she wanted, which was to move out of the state that she lived in and move up north into the city and in an apartment and work at the exact hospital that she wanted to work at. She's a physician. So she got all of that. She landed the exact hospital that she wanted to. She moved into the exact neighborhood that she visualized in her head. She divorced her ex, and it went very amicable. I mean, as amicable as it could be for divorcing a narcissist. Everything just went so great. And here's why. Yes, she hired somebody, me, for the emotional support. But the other thing is she kept showing up. She kept showing up. She kept showing up. She booked calls with me. She did the homework with me. She showed up on the calls, our group calls. She kept showing up. She was like the student, the eager student in the front of the class, like ready to go, arms folded, and just like, what's next? Let's do this. And because of that energy, so eager to do this and so willing to be accepting and receptive to what the teachings are, led her to only being with me for 9 months. And in that 9 months, like I said, she manifested every single thing that she wanted. Everything went super smooth, and she's doing fantastic. Okay. So those are 3 stories of women who decided to hire somebody who could support them emotionally before they went into the divorce. And then in the beginning of the video, I shared with you some stories of women who chose to go the attorney route before they would go and have emotional support. And the two differences and the outcomes of these women, okay? And so that's part of the reason why I can sit here and share this with you, because I know that this is how it goes, okay? I've heard from many, many women who are in the court system that especially narcissistic abuse is not recognized in the court system. It's your word against theirs. He said, she said, okay? And these people are such master manipulators that they manipulate the court system, okay? And that leaves you, not only are you super vulnerable, your emotions are all over the place. Not only are you, you just want this to be done, you're just a hot mess, rightfully so. But this also is where the abuse continues, because the manipulation, him manipulating or her manipulating the system, screws you over again, okay? So what I teach my clients is how to navigate through all of this so that they are not a victim again. You were a victim in the marriage. You were victimized over and over again every time you were manipulated and controlled and abused and this and that. And why would you put yourself in that situation where you're being manipulated and abused again? So this is what I teach my clients, is how to strategically know what to say, what to do, and how to show up. And that's through working together and practicing, right? So again, this is not about me. I'm not saying hire me only. I'm saying find someone who can support you emotionally before, if you can do it before you even tell your spouse you want a divorce, if that's where you're at. But definitely before you go into the court system, you've got to be locked and loaded, baby. You've got to be armed. You've got to be shielded. You've got to be prepared emotionally so that you come out of this game a winner. That's what this is. It's a freaking game. That's what this is. And you're playing with some really dark villains. And when you're playing with the dark villains, you've got to outsmart them. You've got to outdo them, and you've got to come out ahead. No more victim crap. You've already done that, been there, done that. Now it's time for you to come out as the winner, okay? So with all that being said, what I'm going to give to you in the description, there'll be a link in the description for the 5 steps on finding true love after toxic love. Even if you're not ready for the finding true love, this is going to be super helpful for you, because it asks you questions about where you are, self-love, forgiveness, trusting, and telling your truth. It's a great guide for you. So whether you're ready to find true love or whether you're not ready, either way, this will help you. And I'm going to put that in the description below for you. And as always, thank you for showing up. Thank you for investing this time in you. I absolutely love and adore you. And I hope that this video helps you to navigate through maybe what was missing. If you've already been through this, what was missing for you when you went through the divorce, and why maybe you didn't come out ahead, or what just answered some questions for you and helped you. I really do. All right, my loves, until the next video. Bye.